Keri Hilson is a talented American singer, songwriter, and actress who rose to prominence in the mid-2000s with her distinctive voice and songwriting skills. Her journey in the music industry began as a songwriter, crafting hits for several renowned artists before stepping into the spotlight herself. Her debut album spawned 2 top 20 hits, 2 Grammy nominations, and critical acclaim. But despite early success, Keri's legacy has been plagued with nothing but negativity and controversy, and she might be the one to blame. She consistently found herself entangled in various conflicts and notable feuds with fellow artists throughout her career. In the end, these incidents would overshadow her artistic contributions, despite all of her attempts to address and move past them. This is Keri Hilson and the story of self-sabotage, how she got herself blacklisted. Keri attended Tucker High School outside of Atlanta, Georgia, where she performed for assemblies and graduations. She then joined another girl group named Pretty Tony, put together by producer Anthony Dent, whose songwriting credits range from Destiny's Child to Faith Evans to Diddy. But Pretty Tony turned out to be another failed girl group for Keri. Luckily for her, though, Anthony was impressed by her talent and appointed her as his in-house writer and background vocalist. In 2002, at 17 years old, she penned her first commercial song for Japanese pop star Michiko. This was the singer's only English-speaking song. After graduating from high school, Keri enrolled in Emory College, where she majored in theater. Outside of school, Keri was in the studio. She has writing credits on the 2003 and 2004 albums belonging to Kelly Rowland, Sierra, Ruben Studdard, Too Short, Crystal K, Sean Desmond, and Usher. She even had an uncredited feature on Exhibit's 2004 song Hey Now. Keri's collaborations and connections to the music industry led to her crossing paths with producer Polo Dodon, who introduced her to his friend Timbaland. Polo immediately recruited her for his songwriting collective named The Clutch. With Keri a part of the lineup, The Clutch worked on the songs Pimping All Over the World by Ludacris, Please by Toni Braxton, Take Me As I Am by Mary J. Blige, Young Love by Chris Brown, Runaway Love by Ludacris, 2 tracks on Danity Kane's debut album, 4 Minutes by Avant, and many others. With Timbaland now, Keri co-wrote the songs Bite the Dust and Wait a Minute by the Pussycat Dolls, and Icebox by Omarion. In 2006, Timbaland signed Keri to his new Mosley Music Group label under Interscope, and they began working on his second studio album. After writing and recording vocals for countless songs, Keri got her first real feature later that year on rapper Lloyd Banks' single Help off his Rotten Apple album released in late 2006. But 2007 would become her best year yet. In summer 2007, Keri Hilson's career took a significant turn when she collaborated with Timbaland on his album Shock Value. She was featured on his hit song The Way I Are, that peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, selling over 3 million singles in the United States alone. It also topped charts in other countries, including Australia, Canada, Denmark, Ireland, and the United Kingdom. Her sultry vocals and songwriting contributions to tracks on the album showcased her versatility and marked the beginning of her transition from behind-the-scenes songwriter to solo artist. In addition to writing songs on albums released that year belonging to Bobby Valentino, Keke Palmer, Tank, and Jennifer Lopez, Keri co-wrote 4 songs on Britney Spears' Blackout album, including the 2 hit songs Break the Ice and Gimme More. Keri revealed that they worked on Gimme More a year prior to its release when Britney was 7 months pregnant with her son Jaden. She told OK Magazine, "Danger produced the song and I just started singing Give Me, and added a little more in and just having fun and messing around really. That's how everything is. I wrote Gimme More with Britney in mind. At this point in my career, I'm usually in the studio when usually they're there or sometimes not there. The session is booked, but I definitely have them in mind," end quote.
Is performing your song tonight.
Yes, she is. I cannot wait to see what she did with it visually. I'm so excited.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
How How did you get hooked up with these people? I mean, you're performing with Timberland, Britney's singing your song. How does that happen?
Well, I've been in the game 10 years, just behind the scenes. I was a writer for much of that time, and I guess during that time, if you're working hard, you get well connected at some point. So I was introduced to Timberland, and he decided to do the deal. We got our first deal offer 2 days after I met him, and it just snowballed from there. So I couldn't be more happy that after 10 years, it's finally coming to fruition. The process with Britney Spears was actually refreshing. I got to step outside of what I normally do. I'm not normally this huge pop writer. Of course, I had to do the same with the Pussycat Dolls for the song I did for them, Wait a Minute, or one of the 2 songs I did for them. But Britney, she's special. She really...
Keri was also featured on Rich Boys Good Things with Polo de Don. And thereafter on Timbaland's song Scream with Nicole Scherzinger. With all the buzz around Keri Hilson's name, it was now time for her to focus on solo music and an album.
Hi, I'm Keri Hilson, and you need to know me because I may have written your favorite song. Songs such as Icebox for Omarion, Take Me As I Am for Mary J. Blige, Ludacris featuring Mary J. Blige, Runaway Love. Let's see, Diddy After Love, Ruben Studdard Play Our Song, Britney Spears Give Me More, Sierra Ooh Baby Usher Red Light, yeah, Pussycat Dolls Wait a Minute. You have definitely seen me in Promiscuous Girl. It was my quick shot. If you were lucky enough to attend Justin's Future Sex Love Sound tour, you might have seen me on the silk screens during Tim's set. You would have seen me in Rich Boy Throw Some D's. And of course, Timbaland's The Way I Are. I could go on and on and on and on.
Keri started 2008 with an appearance in Usher's Love in This Club music video. Both artists then collaborated on a remix version that would feature a duet between both artists. Usher and the song's co-writers rewrote the verses for the song, while Keri wrote the female part. But both Usher and his label decided to have Beyoncé do the female vocals instead of Keri, as this would generate more interest and commercial success for the single, with them being the biggest male and female R&B acts at the time. Lil Wayne is also featured on the final version. In a radio interview, Keri appeared to be annoyed at the whole situation and the fact that B sang it the same way as her demo, also making a comment about Beyoncé not writing everything she sings.
When you wrote the verse for Love in His Club, we hear Beyonce singing now. Yeah. When you wrote it, did she sing it like you sang it, or did she change it up? Yeah, it's pretty much the same. You are crazy. It pretty much is the same. Oh, really? Yeah, it's the same, except it sounds like Beyonce. Yeah. She doesn't write everything she touches. I know, Neil. Yeah. Miraculous.
Mario, I told you it was a diss.
Kiba is a dope writer named Kiba Riddick,
But you'd think artists singing her words would be something Keri's used to since she's a songwriter. Nonetheless, Keri still landed features on Nas's Hero, Cardinal Official's #1, Tide is High, and Chris Brown's Superhuman that year. In May, she released the lead single off her forthcoming album titled Energy, which managed to break into the Hot 100 and reached #12 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. She released 2 more singles that year titled Return the Favor featuring Timbaland, which failed to chart in the States but saw international success, and her breakout hit Turning Me On, which became a top 20 hit in America. Keri Hilson released her debut US Top 4 studio album, In a Perfect World, in March 2009, and the hit single Knock You Down featuring Kanye West and Ne-Yo became her biggest charting song and took the 3rd position on the Hot 100. In a Perfect World not only demonstrated Keri's vocal prowess, but also solidified her presence in the R&B and pop music scenes. The album received positive reviews, earning Keri critical acclaim for her songwriting abilities and captivating performances. She even landed 2 Grammy nominations for Best New Artist and Best Rap Song Collaboration. But then, a creative decision was made that changed the direction of her career and would permanently alter her public image. In mid-2009, multiple remixes of Turnin' Me On hit the web with verses by T-Pain, Busta Rhymes, and T.I. Another version featuring a new verse by Keri was also released, and this one sparked controversy. The original theme of the song talks about things that turns her on and off about romantic partners, but the remix takes a different route. Keri starts the verse off by singing,
"But wait till I shoot these bitches down, down. Hey. Shoot these bitches. I ain't tryna start no mess, it's just something on my chest that I need to get out, 'cause you're turning me out."
She continues the verse by taking aim at unnamed female artists.
Yes, you can dance, she can sing, but need to move it to the left, to the left. She need to go have some baby shit. Go ahead and tell these folks how long I've been writing your songs. I've been putting you on, just check the credits, ho.
This verse was perceived by many as subtle jabs at Beyonce and her former friend Ciara. The move it to the left line was the most obvious jab at Beyonce because it imitates the most standout part of Beyonce's hit song Irreplaceable. Keri went on to make comments about secretly writing her music, clearly still upset about the Love in This Club situation. During this time, both artists were the biggest black female acts in music outside of Rihanna. Beyonce and Ciara were dominating pop and urban radios. If people weren't a fan of both, they were most likely a fan of at least one or the other. This also happens to be the same audience Keri Hilson was trying to appease to, so taking jabs at both artists less than a year into her solo career was not a good look. Speculation arose about a supposed rivalry between her and the two artists, and both fans and journalists gave Keri harsh criticism, calling her desperate and bitter. One reporter for BET called it career suicide, and they may have been right.
I really can't believe
I can't believe that Keri Hilson, as good as that remix was, I can't believe she had the audacity to do that.
She called out Beyonce.
She sure did, didn't she?
But you know, Beyonce being the person that she is,
she ain't gonna respond back. And you know why she's not gonna respond back? Because she's on a much higher level than that. Keri Hilson is actually trying to get on the level that Beyonce's on. So you'll never hear Beyonce respond back to something like that. It doesn't matter if she is or if she isn't talking about Beyonce. Keri Hilson doesn't have the audacity to say that about anybody. Because Keri Hilson is just starting off. Okay?
Oh, 50 Cent did it.
Yeah, but 50 Cent did it, but 50 Cent was something before he became big. 50 Cent actually had music out. Keri Hilson, you can't even come at Ciara or Rihanna. You can't even do that. You know why you can't do that? Because Ciara and Rihanna are way bigger than you are. They are probably bigger than you will ever be.
Wow.
Keri Hilson, here's a word of advice from Mikkel, because he has his own opinions about you, and I'll let him say that after I'm finished. Here's a little word of advice from Mikkel. If you want someone to take you seriously, Keri Hilson.
Keri did a string of interviews downplaying the diss and repeatedly denied the verse ever being about the two established artists.
So I have to ask you a question. This is a must-ask question as well. I'm sure. Rumor popping.
Right.
You already know what I'm going to ask.
Well, I don't know. It's one of 3 rumors that are circulating around my name, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you about that too.
Okay.
But there's a rumor going on that Polo the Don talked you into the studio, leaked a record that's considered a diss song for Beyonce and Ciara. Is that true?
It's considered that. Yes, Polo had this idea. No, he did not leak it. It's not the version Polo wanted out.
Okay.
Especially the version with him talking all over it. You know, it sounds like he's instigating something and giving more meaning into the lyrics than were initially intended. But no, he didn't like force me to do anything. I mean, it was a suggestion, and I told him, okay, I'll try it. You know, I'll try it, and that was just it. He was like, I want it a little more fiery, and that's cool. That's cool with me. I speak my mind, and you know, I make no apologies for it. So, you know, it's a hot verse. I love the verse. Yes, I heard specific names being brought up. No, it's not about that. No, you know, that was not where the energy was. I'm not retracting or you know, feeling some kind of way about
how people feel that I'm doing, you know, that I did this. I'm not, I guess that's the only way I could say it. I'm not retracting. It's just that was never the energy behind it.
Okay.
But we did play it for people, and it's considered a leak because we decided not to go with it. And I can prove that because it's like, when you do a remix to a song, you kind of want it to be for the remix to come out while the song is really hot still. And the song is hot right now, but it's not number one. So it was a late remix. We did that remix, well, 3 months ago now, and it just now leaked. So if we wanted it to come out, we would have done it while the fire was still burning very, very thick. And so, you know, it's been very hard to keep Keri Hilson records under wraps, and we decided to do that because people, when we played it for people, you know, people said, look, oh, it sounds like you're going at this person and that person. And when the moment names started being thrown around, we were like, oh, okay, we get it. That's not, you know, it's not what we wanted to accomplish with this record. I did want to address the haters and the hatred that I've had pretty much my whole entire career.
And I am, because, you know, I just want to let Atlanta know and Sierra know, you know, that this is a true league. Polo knows, like, I don't know if he said that on the radio, but I did fight this coming out. Like, I didn't want it to come out because we played it for people when I did it. Like, you know, and that's what people said that it was about. They threw out names. We were like, no, it's not about that. We tried to let them know what it was really about, but the fact that they brought back names was like, okay, that's not the reaction we need. That's not what it's really supposed to be about. So I was like, Polo, you know, let's not do it. So Polo agreed, and this happened. So, you know, I just tell Sierra, like, it's not about you, it's not about nobody. It is about haters. There are things that same energy you said you take in the booth. Sorry, I just got out of rehearsal, so I'm breathing kind of hard. But that same energy you said you take in the booth, when you approach something as a rapper, you know, and people love that and they respect that about you, and you can go in the booth and just do something, flip it up for one good time on something that's a remix. So, you know, people are just reading way too far into it, I think. And, you know, that's just a byproduct of this industry, with how people just kind of take things and make it what they want it to be. And it's a shame that they do that. But, you know, that was never the energy behind it. It wasn't taking shots at nobody.
So cool. I mean, I guess everybody's here to listen to what Keri said, and I take it for that, you know.
Yeah.
And like I say, from my end, it's always been nothing but love, you know, for you. I'm very, you know, I was very happy for you to get, you know, to get where you are, like, or to get just to get everything to get, you know what I mean? So
I know that's sincere, and it is the same coming from me. When I tell you that I'm proud of you, I've always meant that, and I always do mean that. You know what I'm saying? I watched it from grassroots, from ground zero with you, and it was great. It was great to see you blossom into that. So, you know, there's nothing fake about me. You know me long enough to know that, you know, everybody that knows me knows where my heart is, and understands, like, because I'm a face value person. I don't hold no blows. If I'm mad, you're going to know it. If I'm excited, you're going to know it. If I'm happy, you're going to know it. And you know me well enough to know that. So, you know.
Cool beans.
Yeah. That's that.
I hope people think it's jamming at least. They talking.
Like I said, I wasn't thinking about nobody. I'm not jealous of anybody's career. We all gonna work together. We are all like the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Keisha's on my album. You know, I've worked with Sierra many times. I'm a fan of Beyonce. So that's just.
Who were you talking about then?
I mean, you know, there are people there. Like
because somebody said something about somebody. Because you know what? For every artist who say they don't read the blogs, they do.
Luckily, Beyonce never even entertained what appeared to be a one-sided beef. But things between Keri and Sierra eventually got heated, though it's not clear why their friendship ended in the first place. In the midst of all this drama, Keri won the Best New Artist award at the BET Awards that summer, joined Lil Wayne on his tour, and was featured on 5 singles that year. And in 2010, she was readying new music. But so was Sierra. The latter released a song from her forthcoming album titled Basic Instinct, You Got Me, that allegedly takes shots at Keri.
I've been in the game since 03. You can try, but you still can't do it like me. But I love it when they talk about me. You got me. I'm a black bag that, and when I see the stage, I'm a black bag that.
Some people thought you were taking shots at maybe Keri Hilson on that record.
That record right there is a song that I dedicated to my haters. And I also dedicated to my fans, though. So, that's what that record, it was for. It's just me really expressing and getting a lot off my chest, because I'm normally like, I've experienced, you get the haters and stuff like that, and they don't really mean anything. However, let me just say something real quick. Let me just get something off my chest, and that's what that record kind of allowed me to do.
In August that year, both artists were booked to perform at the Power Live show. The New York Daily News reported that Keri and Ciara got into a verbal altercation backstage, causing Keri to pull out of the show. She was originally scheduled to perform from 8:55 p.m. to 9:15 p.m., and Ciara was to go on from 10:05 p.m. to 10:35 p.m. But reps from both sides called the rumors bogus, and organizers of Power Live released a statement addressing Keri's absence from the show, saying, in quotes, Keri Hilson had been booked to perform at the Power Live show on NYC's Governor's Island Sunday, August 22nd, but was unable to perform due to matters out of her own control. Hilson, a professional who has always been a pleasure to work with, and her management gave Power Live fair warning that she would be unable to perform. Power Live looks forward to having Keri Hilson in our bill at future events. Any statements or stories made toward issues backstage with any of our performers are false and without merit. The drama continued a month later when Ciara told theboombox.com, in reference to the Keri situation, I'm so in a different space mentally, I can't even bring myself to do that. It's not important to me. There's just so much stuff to get out of life than that. There's so much more for me to accomplish in my career. Personally, I've decided that it doesn't make sense to do that. I'm very secure in my place and what I've done over the years. Ciara also denied the title track on her album was ever about Keri, saying, in quotes, I'm just trying to be as successful as possible. I do believe that thinking about stuff like that and giving things like that energy, it can get in the way. It's not necessary. That's just my point of view. When you read about people having differences, it's case by case. Sometimes there are songs that make people think like that. Sometimes there are rumors. You just never know where they come from. A month later, both women called a truce and squashed their beef live on Ustream for fans to see. Keri ended the video by saying this would be the last time they addressed the beef.
Thank you guys for, supporting us. But now, hopefully, our fans can understand that, support each other.
Spread the love.
Spread the love, all of that.
Yay.
All right? So, deuces, no more interviews about it. This is the last time we'll talk about it, hopefully.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. Radio, I'm going to say this. Radio interviewers, there's nowhere you can really go with this. At least from my perspective, like I would say that when I sit down with you, because it's just so many more better things to talk about, and the last thing I want to do is spend time talking about some drama.
Right. That was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least this kind of drama. We're women, supporting women, uplifting each other. And that's how we're going to do that there.
Always.
All the way. Turned up.
Fast.
Level 10. To the max.
All the way.
Turned up. Okay.
Okay. The boxing gloves are in the corner over here.
Done.
We're good.
Out the door.
A month later, for her Jones magazine cover story, Keri confirmed that she did in fact have a falling out with the singer and said the friendship was back on, saying, in quotes, it was unfortunate because we used to be really good friends. We let the media get in the way and speak for us. We weren't speaking to each other. We're good now. Nobody wants to fight with an old friend. It's not cute, and it doesn't reflect our character. Don't get me wrong, I am feisty, but I'm not catty. Well, Ciara's album was released on December 10th, 7 days before Keri's No Boys Allowed sophomore album, and the record sales were low, with some less than favorable reviews from critics. While promoting her own album on The Breakfast Club, Keri giggled at Charlamagne's jokes about Ciara's album sales, and even said that she'd hoped to sell more records than the singer.
I like that kind of vagina. I just hope that you have the kind of vagina that sells records, because we need you to do better than Ciara. Oh. That's all I'm praying for Keri to do better than Ciara.
Ouch.
Ciara only sold 30-something thousand records.
No, but
they friends now.
So, the truth is the truth. She only sold 30-something. You want to do better than Ciara. Come on.
I would like to do,
great numbers.
Yes.
Higher than 35. I mean, everyone would.
It was actually 37.
Okay, 37.
Give her extra
Great.
2,000.
No, but you know that's what we all shoot for. But I saw a quote where she said it's not about the numbers, and I'm not a chart reader. I don't look at charts. The only one I actually might be in tune with is like 106 in Park.
Ciara then took to Twitter to clap back, Tweeting, heard that a newcomer to Power 105 morning show is really into talking about me. I love it. Keep promoting me. Glad to know I mean that much. Keri responded by downplaying her comments and even tried to put the blame all on Charlamagne, tweeting, check this out, I support all of my fellow artists and want them all to be successful. Stop trying to put us against each other. I have love for Ciara, Diddy, Dirty Money, Tank, Keisha, Jamie Foxx, and at Charlamagne the God, keep me out of your bull. I understand wanting ratings for your show, but don't try to create drama at my expense. Not cool. In the end, No Boys Allowed sold over 100,000 copies in its first week, 8,000 copies more than her debut album, and it also produced the Billboard Top 40 hit Pretty Girl Rock. But even with all of the success Keri was experiencing, she was gaining a reputation as being a nasty, messy person. Around this time, there was another feud brewing between her and fellow singer Tierra Marie, who says she and Keri had a little spat backstage at Keri's show.
Well, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Nice show. Hi, how are you? And she looked at my hand like, she's a little stanky. If that happened again,
the Detroit will come out. The Detroit will come.
Tierra never said Keri's name, but it wasn't hard to tell who she was referring to. Both dramas with Ciara and Tierra cooled off for Keri, but she'd spend the rest of her entertainment career suffering the consequences of starting drama so early in her career. Even though Keri assured the public that she had no harsh feelings towards Beyonce and never even dissed the singer, she was always visibly annoyed at participating in anything related to the singer.
Hi Beyonce, I just wanted to say happy birthday and I hope it's amazing and continued success with everything. Of course you will, you'll have that.
Happy birthday to the one, the only, Queen Bee, Beyonce. You are one of the most humble and talented women in this industry that I definitely look up to. I wish you all the best. I wish you 30, 60, 90 more years of happiness and success. Love you very much.
Happy birthday, Beyonce.
While on the red carpet at the 2011 Soul Train Awards, Keri Hilson was interviewed by a magazine that later asked her to pose with their latest issue, which just happened to feature Beyonce on the cover. Keri said yes, but then quickly handed it back and declined once she realized who was on the cover.
You wanna hold the magazine? Just shout out Juicy Mac. You wanna hold the magazine? Just shout out Juicy Mac.
I want to.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl, Miss Keri, baby. You're checking out Juicy Magazine. Peace.
Of course, this left people confused and upset. This only solidified rumors about her harsh feelings towards Beyonce. From that point on, Keri received nothing but intense backlash on social media and was asked about her alleged feud with Beyonce in every single interview she did.
No, I don't have a beef with any female artist. I think it's just interesting that people are we live in such a gullible world, and anything that's written, anything that's posted, any picture that is interpreted one way is taken as truth. It's like Bible now. You can Photoshop something, put it out, and everyone believes it. And I'm just really kind of, you know, it's like I'm human, and it's hurtful, it's malicious, it's not. It's not okay, you know, to just make up false things about someone in their personal life, especially. So professionally, fine, scrutinize me all you want. I know that I can't please everyone, but personally, let's just leave it alone. It's just going too far.
She made many attempts to diffuse tensions and rumors, but the hate comments persisted. Fans of the pop star recorded diss tracks towards Keri.
My diva girl, Creole mama, she's so hated on. And Keri, bitch, you ain't gon' stop me. Get a fan base before you go and try and talk shit. You done ruined your career. I'ma call you Chris Brown. Need to stay behind the scenes, work to get your swagger up. Upgrade them crusty toes, play out mushroom cut.
Let's get one thing right. Be the one who put you on. You ain't shit without the queen singing on your songs. Be she the baddest chick. You know you an average chick. You just like the other sauces coming for you, fucker.
And she was even a victim of a viral doctored tweet that claims she was assaulted with Beyonce CDs by the Beehive. Keri became an easy target for gossip blogs, and fake tweets were frequently created to further damage her reputation, including one that made offensive comments about Africans. Unconfirmed rumors hit the internet alleging she had been blacklisted from the music industry because of her swipes at B, and top producers and writers didn't want to work with her. But in 2013, it seems like she was ready to put the drama behind her. Keri made tweets pleading with the public to leave her alone that read, "It's too much. Please, is everything I tweet gonna be intentionally misinterpreted as a statement about someone or drama I know nothing about? You have no idea what your hateful words could do to someone's spirit. Years of verbal abuse from strangers all day long. Enough is enough. I'm here for my fans. I'm stronger than you imagine. But waking up and going to bed with your ugliness is just too much, kids. I get it, okay? You can stop now. As far as whatever you're really mad about, I had my reasons. It's been years. Just chalk it up to your ignorance of my reality and let it go. As for my mistakes, God has dealt with me," end quote. Her longtime collaborator Timbaland revealed to Revolt TV that he had had a falling out with Jay-Z and recorded a song as an apology. He also revealed that Keri recorded her own apology verse dedicated to Beyonce.
Fallout happened at the end of that album. Right. It really happened at the way that album happened, and a couple songs was getting leaked, and that was his song. Yeah. And it was like that whole thing was just like, it just ruined the whole process. Yeah.
It was not no industry related. It was more personal, and I was wrong.
And Kanye, who was the executive producer of Blueprint 3, was like, yo, let's get Tim. Let's bring Tim in. And we were all inviting him, and he just wasn't accepting of the process.
When I was working on Justin, he said, yo, send me a text. We need to talk. You know, we need to hook back up. I flew down to Brooklyn when he had them shows.
You know, after those concerts and he came back, I'd seen the new Timbaland.
And we looked at each other and we just gave each other a hug. And he was like, "What you been doing, man?" I said, "Man, I'm right. I'm back."
He had this maturity and this growth that I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna work out.
And I got this one song I did with Keri on my album called Sorry. And Keri actually tells a story about the whole Beyonce thing and how she was sorry about it because she really wasn't talking about Beyonce but other people. It says in the song.
But Keri did her own interview with thatgrapejuice.com, denying that her verse was ever an apology to Beyonce, and says Timbaland's words were probably misinterpreted, saying, in quotes, "That track really got misinterpreted though. Whoever filmed that video cut him off and faded the video off to make it seem like it was the end of the sentence. Maybe his intention was to clear up what he previously said. I'm not sure if that record will even make the album." Keri also revealed she recorded a song with both Timbaland and Jay-Z, but I don't think that record ever got an official release. Keri Hilson hadn't released any solo music by 2015, and her name was attached to nothing but drama and embarrassing moments, like going viral for performing for an empty arena. She frequently found herself at the center of controversy over nonsensical social media posts and responding to fans and fellow artists, sometimes even leading to misunderstandings and heated exchanges. In July 2011, right after the passing of Amy Winehouse, Keri posted a pic on Twitter with a look-alike of the late singer with the caption, "Amy Winehouse resurrected to party with me. Seriously, uncanny resemblance." And, of course, this offended fans of the singer. After a barrage of hate tweets, Keri responded by saying, "Come on, I mean no harm. All due respect. But really, the resemblance freaked me out. This was simply the best tribute ever. Hashtag RIP Amy Winehouse." Also adding, "I apologize to anyone who might have taken this the wrong way. As a fan, I thought it was cool that she dressed up to honor Amy. I had no ill intent, but I understand how it appears insensitive. My bad, Twitterville." In 2015, Keri shared her support for Rachel Dolezal, the white woman who was exposed for posing as a black woman, by saying that Rachel was doing more for the black community with the NAACP than black people were doing for themselves. And this comment drew intense criticism. Then fast forward to March 2020, 2 days after the coronavirus shut down. Keri started spreading misinformation about the virus, claiming it was being spread through 5G cellular towers. Her post read, "People have been trying to warn us about 5G for years. Petitions, organizations, studies. What we're going through is the effects of radiation. 5G launched in China November 1st. People dropped dead. See attached and go to my IG stories for more. turn off 5G by disabling LTE. Keri then shared a nearly 9-minute video of Dr. Thomas Cowan, a holistic physician, giving a lecture linking 5G to the virus. Keri even went as far as making the bold claim that the virus wasn't even in Africa because it wasn't a 5G region, even though millions of cases were later confirmed on the continent. Keri's ignorance sparked backlash from all over and even prompted responses from Dr. Stephanie Miles Richardson, the Associate Dean of Graduate Education and Public Health at Morehouse School of Medicine in Atlanta, and Dr. Georges C. Benjamin, Executive Director of the American Public Health Association, who said in an email to Huffington Post, "COVID-19 is caused by a virus that came through a natural animal source and has no relation to 5G or any radiation linked to technology." The World Health Organization even revealed in a statement that while radiation from certain electromagnetic fields can contain carcinogens, he said in quotes, "No adverse health effect has been causally linked with exposure to wireless technologies." The next wave of widespread social media backlash came when the singer spoke out against Twitter banning Donald Trump from the platform, claiming that doing so went against freedom of speech, completely ignoring the fact that the president had used his account to incite a deadly riot. In an Instagram post, she wrote, "This may be funny, but it is a little dangerous too. Take Trump out of it for a moment. A democracy must include freedom of speech. Imagine other leaders or popular figures not being able to voice their opinion if it opposes the majority of world leaders. Our freedom of speech being taken from us, slowly but surely. If the leader of the free world can be removed, imagine that same right of civilians. Imagine believing every time you read false information detected and propaganda, deceptive reports, and flat-out lies being the only thing we see." End quote. And if you thought people were done asking her about Beyonce by this time, you were definitely wrong. Keri Hilson finally came clean about dissing Beyonce on Fox's Out Loud with Claudia Jordan, and says she regrets her decision to do so, but also says she wasn't even the one who wrote the verse and was pressured into doing it.
At the height of your career, you took a 9-year hiatus to focus on your mental health. Yeah. Why was that so important to you? And can you share what was happening? If as much as you like to share, of course.
It's kind of hard. It's depression is hard to describe. I knew that I was beside myself, and this was like at the peak, at the top of Pretty Go Rock. I gotta slow down. I started to contemplate losing my career, leaving my career altogether. I just knew I needed time to get back to myself. I was incredibly not happy, and I was in an 11-year relationship. And so, yeah, then it was that. And there was obviously a whole lot of public scrutiny that I had already dealt with for years, and that had built up, and I felt crucified for ideas and decisions that were not my own, that my arm was twisted to do. So that was
remember
really
that, Keri. And I felt so, I didn't know you back then, but I just was like, why are they doing this woman like this?
Yeah.
And why is it so cruel? And why are people taking joy, seemingly, to try to blacklist or, stomp out someone's dream? That's what it felt like to me as an outsider looking in.
It's the price you pay, when you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen. And when you buck, they buck harder. And they make threats, and those threats are huge ones. And you know what I mean? You don't feel like you have a choice. I really didn't feel like I had a choice. It was do this or this will happen. And I'm young, I'm early 20s, and I'm like, they're like, sing this song. You don't have it, you're here for a couple hours. I flew in town. It's that. It's the whole, if you don't, then blank. So you learn, though. You learn to fight harder. I didn't have enough fight in me I was maybe 20, 21. I didn't have enough fight in me. No one could ever compare to Beyonce. Let's just say the name that we're discussing. No one could compare. No one will for a very, very, very long time. And that was never my aim either. However,
it was framed that way.
Well, no, it was absolutely framed that way. It was written that way. Was not my lyrics. Was not my writing.
So you had to pay the penalty.
Was not my doing, but I had to pay the penalty. And then I'm caught like, do I tell the truth, do I expose them early in my career? I'm super young, super new. This is my first album. I'm so excited. It just soiled my whole dream. So I learned. You live and you learn. You know, you live and you learn. You learn to fight for who you are. And I know who I am. I knew, you know, I might have been very young, but in the context of playing dirty and talking trash and even having the concept of competition.
Keri also went on to reveal that her and B had a gracious moment together when they met. She pretty much stayed out of drama's way from that point on, but Keri has a bad habit of saying things she shouldn't, so it was only a matter of time before her name was entangled in another controversy. In October 2023, she appeared on an episode of the R&B Money podcast with host Tank and Jay Valentine. And during a segment called I Ain't Saying No Names, Keri talked about the 2010 Tierra Marie incident I mentioned earlier in this video, and even called her an insignificant artist.
You know, she didn't want to be there. It was very obvious. And I felt disrespected by that. So when they came to my dressing room backstage, I said something and we almost got to scrapping.
Shit.
My Decatur came out. Her town came out.
Right.
Now a lot of things you can do to show love, but she was this.
Damn. In the front row?
I was just like, oh, this is intentionally rude. Like you want to get slapped. That's how I felt. You don't remember who it was. Yeah, she's pretty insignificant at this point.
Obviously, Tierra was not happy about Keri rehashing the 13-year-old drama that had long been squashed. So she responded on Instagram by writing, "Y'all people gotta leave me alone. I don't bother anybody. Just leave me the f*** alone. So now, Keri, what's up? You wanna fight? Or do you not wanna fight? Because I'm gonna whoop your ass when I see you. I'm sick of you people bothering me. You had a whole different story when I was in your face. You're a liar, bitch." Keri issued an apology by responding, "Unfortunately, this did happen around 12 to 13 years ago. I actually never knew until I saw the previous post that you also told this story publicly. Listen, we were very young in our careers, and I was remembering how I felt when it happened, but I don't feel a way about this situation now. Since then, we've run into each other, apologized, partied together, and gotten past that. I'm responding to this because I don't want to allow anything to bring us back to a place we've long passed. And since it was a public story that got connected to you in public, it deserves a public apology. I'm sorry for telling the story. Especially when the energy and hurtful words that I used. It was unnecessary, because my feelings and energy at this point in this present moment are nothing but love. No ill will or vitriol towards you. It's an old story that I see now that we've both told. I hope you're doing well in this season and wishing you all the best in life." End quote.
What's now for you?
Now it's back to music.
Oh, you back? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
That's all there's left to do.
I love this.
I'm not done.
Like you locked in, fully locked into this music shit.
I'm not finished. Come on.
As of 2024, Keri Hilson has yet to release any new solo music since her 2010 sophomore album, No Boys Allowed. And these days, she hardly ever writes for other artists. Keri's contributions as a songwriter and performer have left an undeniable mark, influencing a new generation of artists. But it's a shame her talent and artistry was overshadowed by the constant disputes, lack of self-control on the internet, and social media controversies. And as for my personal opinion, I think she should have came clean about the remix a long time ago. But all of the hatred and harassment she's received over the years was completely unnecessary and went on for way too long. Do you guys think all the controversies changed the trajectory of Keri Hilson's music career? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, like this video, and subscribe to BFTV for more content.